All right, let's jump right into your pronunciation diagnostic. We're skipping the small talk today to look strictly at the raw data from your recent audio submission. We ran your spoken English against standard American English phonetic models through our automatic speech recognition system, or ASR for short, and honestly, we are just going to look at exactly what the machine heard. No sugarcoating, just the facts.
So, we're going to break this down into 3 core areas today. First, an overall score analysis. Second, a phonetic symbols evaluation. And third, a target words matrix.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, Overall Score Analysis.
Okay, your overall pronunciation score came in at 68 out of 100. Just to set the baseline here, a 0 represents a CEFR A1 level, and 100 is absolute native equivalence. So a 68, it means you have functional communication, but it is currently, quite frankly, severely impaired by structural emissions. It's a passable baseline, sure, but it absolutely requires immediate targeted intervention.
Now, the reason behind that 68 is actually super revealing. The main thing killing your intelligibility isn't a heavy accent. Nope, it's the frequent omission of inflectional suffixes. We're talking specifically about dropping your plural s's and your verb ed endings. On top of that, the data shows this severe truncation of multisyllabic words. Basically, you're just abandoning the ends of your words.
To be absolutely crystal clear on this point, your core consonant recognition in the middle of words is actually generally fine. It's really stable. But that persistent lack of morphological endings is fundamentally damaging the grammatical integrity of what you're saying. Those longer multisyllabic words are systematically suffering from dropped initial vowels and abandoned final syllables. And here's the thing, the ASR system simply cannot process grammar that you just do not vocalize.
Moving right along to Section 2, Phonetic Symbols Evaluation.
Right, let's look at the mechanical breakdown sorted from lowest score to highest. The sound, the scores a critically low 20 because of total syllable loss in the word yogurt. Then we have the voiced Z sound sitting at a 40. This is due to a systematic omission at word boundaries. You consistently failed to voice this in pluralized nouns like citizens and generations, which caused the system to incorrectly flag them as singular.
Looking a bit further down the list, the unvoiced S scored a 45. Why? Because it failed entirely in consonant clusters, like at the very end of the word networks. And the short vowel, the I, scored a 55. By dropping that unstressed initial vowel, you literally altered the verb emerged into merged. Listen, these aren't just minor slips, okay? These are systematic failures that you need to correct immediately.
But let's flip over to the stable articulations and see what is currently working for you. The alveolar stop, D, scored a 60. Now this took a heavy penalty because you misapplied it in the word offers, accidentally turning it into the past tense offered. However, you did capture it perfectly at the ends of words like died and demand.
The velar stop G got a 70. You partially articulated it at the start, but then dropped the subsequent phonemes. That being said, your R, T, and M sounds scored solidly in the 80s and 90s. These showed really high, consistent recognition rates across your baseline vocabulary. Words like currently, isolated, and combat sounded great. So, your core mechanics, they're actually highly capable.
Let's bring it all together in Section 3, Target Words Matrix. So here are your most severe failures at the actual word level. Yogurt tanked with a 15, suffering catastrophic truncation. The machine literally only heard yog. Emerged hit a 25 because you lost its initial vowel, totally changing its meaning to merged. And look at this pattern right here. Citizens, networks, and generations all scored exactly 35. In every single one of these cases, you completely dropped the terminal consonants, which resulted in a singular misrecognition.
This is a textbook illustration of your mechanical breakdown. There is a direct, undeniable correlation in the output data between your dropped terminal sounds and incorrect grammatical capture. Put simply, when you omit the boundary of a word, the machine totally misses your meaning. Let's keep going through the remaining words in your top 10. Offers scored a 45. Like we mentioned, it got captured as the past tense offered because of terminal misarticulation. Then dollar scored a 55, suffering from an intrusive insertion that basically made the system spit out dollar dada.
Wrapping up the data readout, we have to note your successful baseline articulations for some pretty complex vocabulary. Isolated scored a 75, completely got an 80, and the core thematic word loneliness scored a solid 85. These numbers absolutely prove you have the capacity to handle multisyllabic complexity. You just need to apply that same conscious precision to those lower-ranked words.
So what's the bottom line here? Morphological endings dictate your primary intelligibility. It is that simple. You literally cannot afford to drop the ends of your words, so you need to fix your word boundaries immediately. And really, it begs the question, if a highly advanced machine can't understand you without those crucial final syllables, how much of your actual meaning is being lost when you're talking to a real human being?